Hello, everybody. We have another decentralized collaboration with an amazing creator of Steam Press, the website where you can link to WordPress and earn some rewards from Steam Press community. So, hello.
Hello, good to be here.
So, how we can find you on Steem Blockchain?
So my handle on Steam is Fredrik AA. That's Fredrik AA. But you can also follow Steam Press for the related updates to our plugin.
Yeah, that's nice. So tell me, please, how did you join Steam the first time? How did you find about it?
Right. So I first came across Steam when I was working at the European Space Agency, and I was working in the space sector in Paris, and I was wanting to start just blogging about what it was like to be a fairly young professional in the space sector and try to do some popular science writing and communication about what's going on in the space sector, what's there to be excited about, how does it really work, where can we expect to go in 10, 20 years, and so on. And at the same and I always wanted to start a blog, just blogging about that, plus other ideas about politics, about innovation, about whatever is interesting to me. But I never got around to do it. I mean, I started a WordPress blog at some point, but I just couldn't put in the effort to get it up. Then not the first, but then in that spring in 2017, there was another big crypto bull market where Bitcoin went above $2,000 for the first time. And so that was when that really came on my radar. I had been familiar with Bitcoin before, but it was with Ethereum and smart contracts and the idea of decentralized apps that really drove my curiosity. So I started to research all of these blockchains and all of these cryptocurrencies, and then I came across Steem, which just happened to be both an interesting blockchain and also one that would allow me to do something I had been wanting to do for a long time, whilst learning and earning cryptocurrency at the same time. So I just started, and all my first blogs are about what's up in the space sector, and just blogging my own life, working in the space sector, and doing some series about taking satellite images of places around the Earth where people would like to see it from space, and just doing that kind of stuff for fun. Until, of course, I started building apps, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's great. So the next question is, what do you think about Steem Blockchain, how it works generally?
So the things about Steem that I think are interesting is the idea of co-ownership, where it is the users that make it what it is and who can reap the potential rewards from its success. So I think these two are the only founding values or core visions about Steem that to me are truly interesting. One, the idea that it's not one entity that decides what is right and what isn't right to say, what content should be seen and shouldn't be seen, or run algorithms that provide people with whatever maximizes their ad consumption on the website, but instead it is the users who decide what they like and they don't like. And it's also the users who decide how the blockchain develops further, whether it's users in terms of bloggers, but also anybody who finds the blockchain interesting and purchases coins in it. So I think that for me was the interesting part. And of course, there's still a lot more that can be done to make it better, more functioning and better adequate to deliver on those goals, or at least in my mind, what should be the goals. But at least it's a very interesting first concept about how you can let the user base distribute not only rewards, but further ownership in the chain. So for me, that's what's working. And secondly, back when I started, I had no friends on the network. I had no connections. I had nobody. I had very few coins. There were no bid bots that existed at the time, except for maybe one. And I wrote an introduction post, and it went to the top of trending, and earned, I think, 340 Steam dollars at a time when Steam wasn't that high in the price. And I thought that was insane, because where else could that happen? I mean, you spend months and months on most social media and if you have your own blog, to earn anything, even $1, or to get any response from anybody. But there I was, the view counter was like in the thousands, and the comments were in the many hundreds. So I was like, wow, this is powerful. Yes. So that was also interesting to me, is that by relying not just on some algorithm but by people, because it's human beings who are the curators and who share and who have an incentive to see the user base grow. Just that in and of itself allowed at least someone to succeed. Of course, that's not the same with everybody, but the fact that it's possible was nonetheless very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting description of Steem blockchain, and with a lot of details. I like it very much. Okay, let's move to you now, and tell me please about your skills and things that you do well in your life.
Oh, I can talk about myself all day. I'm by training, I'm a business developer and an economist. I did a business degree, very typical business administration, bachelor's, followed by an economics master's degree with, typical macroeconomics and more social science statistics. And then after that, I've been working mostly with open innovation and innovation knowledge management, from working with the university in Stavanger to set up a student incubator and a new open innovation program for students and local businesses. And second, I work with the European Space Agency with promoting and consulting on the uptake of new satellite data, and how we can better enable companies, startups and growth companies in Europe to be aware of the data, to understand what they can do with the data, and also for the end users, the society, of course, understanding or realizing what they can do with it to solve problems. So what I've learned and what I'm good at, I'm a very analytical person. I see a problem and I break it down to principles and how it can go from A to B. And I'm also good at taking complex questions and just making them simple and saying, okay, how can we solve this? And then coming up with strategies. So anything that has to do with strategy and planning, and really just I'm an ideas person more than anything. I wish I was even more of a doer, because I tend to have more ideas than I have willpower and capacity to do things. But above all, I would say I'm a strategist and an analyst, and someone that likes to work with big questions and try to come up with new ideas.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, and that's why you come with the idea of Steem Press, because it's really opening a wide space for everybody to join Steem, because we have a lot of people posting and writing articles and blogs in WordPress, and now they will be able also to link that with the Steem blockchain, and that's just awesome. And let's talk about Steem Press itself. So tell me how you created, and what are the purpose, what are the goals? Will you have, for example, a token for Steem Press or something like that? And just share your ideas about this amazing project.
Right, so the Steem Press was co-founded and co-built by myself and Hovo, Martin Lees. He's also on the Steem blockchain with Hovo as the name, HOWO. He's the main developer, or the developer. I'm the business person and strategist. We came up with the idea because we had a series of thoughts and ideas for things that we wanted to build, but a common denominator for all of them were that they could use their own website. And so we were like, how do we build a website that takes all of the Steam features and cross-posts to Steam? Then we realized that that's a big pain, but it would be very nice if it was made easy. So we kind of came up with with SteamPress that way, because we thought this would be an amazing tool to have and a good product that would bring more users to Steam and also add a new feature and new functionality to WordPress. So that's how we really got on about it. I would say the main purpose of SteamPress is to make the Steam blockchain more accessible, but also to take the core values that I described earlier of user-centered design and user-centered creation of online experiences and bring them, because Steam enables it in a way that nothing else does. I mean, you can have a comment section where you provide some new type of functionality, but it's all in your database. It's all you who can tweak something and then everything changes. Whereas with Steam, we want to provide a platform that people can tune into to reach all of these different websites like Steemit.com and Steampeak and Busy.org and Partico app, which you had the guy from earlier, I noticed. And so we want to bring this ecosystem to people and empower individuals to create a web and a community that they want to have. So I just want to be as flexible and provide as much opportunity as possible to people. I'm not decided yet whether or not there ought to be a token for SteamPress. Probably not SteamPress itself. It would probably be that we expand beyond WordPress and we think that we have a engagement section and a cross site engagement application where there would be a common shared ownership token where people could take ownership of it and earn rewards based on having advertisements on different places where those ads are displayed across different WordPress websites. That would be an idea. I'm just thinking out loud here. But I think the most certain thing we will provide once it's there, which would also be aligned with the vision I said earlier about empowering users, is to provide consulting and integration for smart media tokens, perhaps also Steam Engine tokens, which are already available, but I think need some more time to just really for people to see what can we do with these. So that once we have bigger, larger websites using SteamPress who might benefit from having their own token, we could help them see if that makes sense and then how to make it the best possible.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, and I wish you all the best with these projects. It's really amazing, and I just love it. When I saw it, I thought that it will solve a lot of problems with a lot of bloggers. Okay, the last question I want to ask is, what are the tips that you can give to Steamians to grow and to improve?
So, I guess it depends a little bit on what your goal is. But let's just say that you are a new creator or anybody that's just arrived on Steam. You want to start and just write about a niche that you may have an interest in, or just about your own life or anything really. I would say first, define what you are most likely to write about, what you are most likely to enjoy writing about. Because if you can't just sit down and write it for an hour every now and then because it feels bothersome, then you're not going to do it consistently. Or if you're not that much into writing, you just want to be part of the community and participate in this crazy process of figuring out how can we build a social media on blockchain, that's perfectly fine too. And people will appreciate you for just looking around the different applications or the different updates that are being proposed and just giving your honest feedback. That will work great too. I would say that once you know what you want, don't spend all of your time writing posts, because if you write posts, you're most likely going to be disappointed, because very few people are following you yet. Nobody almost are browsing the completely new tab or are likely to see you in the popular tags if there's no vote on your posts. So instead, spend your time asking yourself, where are the people who I want to reach currently engaging? If I'm writing science, is there a popular science blog out there that gets 10 or more comments on their posts? If I'm writing about crypto news, is there someone there that gathers that community? And then just be a contributing, positive, constructive person in those comments, because first, you are more likely to earn Steem and dollars on those comments than on your posts, even if the comments might just be 1/10 of the length or the time needed to make them, because at least there are some people there browsing that comment section. And if you're then leaving a great comment, maybe you get $50 upvote, from the person. And second, if you're then providing interesting feedback and people check you out, and then maybe they follow you. And now when you make a post, you already have someone who cares about you as an individual. And one, they might follow you now, so now they get you in their feed. Two, they appreciated that you were there, that you're constructive, that you are a genuine person. Most Steemians, they want to see new people that come in, grow, and have a positive start. So now when you make your introduction post, now when you make your first piece of content in whatever it is that you're writing about, it's much more likely to succeed. So if I'm going to boil all of that down to one sentence, I would say, don't get obsessed with upvotes and follows. Focus on the number of new relationships that you make. And you only get those by giving other people something. So go out there and be constructive, be positive, and try to make Steem the type of social network that you wish that other networks were.
Yeah, thank you very much for these tips. Those are very golden and awesome tips from a professional. Thank you very much for this interview. I hope to see you more, maybe when you will have some updates in the future, maybe after 1 year or something like that.
Thank you. It was my pleasure being here, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Bye.